release anything that's under or over 100 ppm. And we use only the highest quality trim. We have the same standards they do. If anything isn't,
Please give him a glove. Give him a glove. Just slap dabbing.
Yeah, exactly.
Drop that whole half gram on it.
You look like potato.
So what do you think of your flavors?
Dude, the smoke looks so cool coming out of your beard.
It's in there.
Smooth and kind of like a sweeter flavor. I like it.
I mean, notice that I just gave them both fat dabs, though neither one of them coughed in any way, harshed out their throat, held their head. None of that happened.
How's that dab restriction now?
Avid dabbers.
Well, yeah, but I mean, either way, though, I mean, I'm a pretty seasoned dabber too, and depending on what I'm dabbing, I'll definitely, you can run into some effects. And so basically, what we try to do is focus on making sure that everything that you're going to inhale is going to be smooth and potent. And the way we ensure that is through our quality control throughout the company. From the start of the grow process to intaking trim from other people that have grown it, and then all the way through the closed loop system, the medical grade solvents, the minimum 48-hour vacuum purge, sometimes 4 or 5 days, and then the packaging and taste testing to make sure it's up to quality afterwards. Before you guys ever even see it, we've got at least 2 or 3 weeks into every single slab. And so that's what sets us apart, we believe, is that we take the care and concern every step of the way to make sure that you guys get a product that you can believe in and count on a consistent basis. And for us, our competitive advantage is when we do that, we make it simple for the customer because we have an easy color-coded packaging. Your red is always going to be a 90% sativa. Your orange is always going to be a 80% sativa. Your yellow is always going to be 70% green, blue, on down the line. And not only that, in case you're confused about what any of the colors are, it also says up in the upper corner of the PT square.
That's awesome.
As you can see here.
I didn't know the percentage or length of the color.
And so now that everything is color coded as well, it'll be a little bit more simple for you. And we will be providing in-store signage with the color key within. We should have that within 7 days. I'll be making the rounds to drop all that off to you guys. So, and we'll get straight to the goodies. I know your guys' main concern was, what are we going to do to incentivize you to be proud? So we'll get into the cool into the process.
It's like, I want to skip the tough questions. Let's get right to the specifics.
Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and match the 150 that Happy Heart offers you guys, and give the winner a 5-gram pack of our oil. And we're also going to give the top producer in each store 2 grams as well. That way there's an incentive in each location to keep pushing through the week, even if you've fallen behind, because you can still win something.
I love it.
So that's the main thing that we're at, is because we want you guys to know that you can count on our product, and the only way that you're going to be sold on our product is if you're sold on us. And so we want to make sure that you know that we care about you guys just as much as the patients, because in reality we're all patients, And so we really want to just make sure that everybody can give a chance to not only win, but believe in what we're doing. And so without jabbering on too much, I'm going to go ahead and pass it off, because everybody pretty much already knows me. I'm running around everywhere constantly. The people behind the curtain, this is the owner, Brandon. He's the man that's been behind it all for years, working in the laboratory. And this is the platinum extractor. He's the one that makes every single medical happen. So, without further ado,
can I ask one question?
Oh, yes.
And you don't have to answer it, and I'll preface it with saying that I love propane and I don't use anything but propane. How much propane do you use?
We use all gasoline.
Yeah.
90% ethanol at the pump. No, I'm just messing.
Yeah.
There might be our gas mix is proprietary.
Yeah, that's fine.
We honestly, we're constantly changing it.
Yeah.
A lot of people are against propane. We've experimented with propane before.
Yeah.
One of the main misconceptions about propane is when people think propane, they automatically think of
barbecue.
Stuff, yeah,
no,
barbecue propane.
Absolutely, no.
And on the same the same way that there's medical grade and butane, there's medical grade
Absolutely.
propane,
Yep.
where they don't add the mirror caps in it for the smell
Yeah.
and all the carcinogens that
Yeah.
give you cancer. That's not what we're trying to do, you know.
That we
kill
cook
the
with.
cancer.
Yeah,
Those in our food.
I've never been able to make something taste as good as I can with propane. So I assume there's some propane in that mix because it tastes good.
For sure, that's
Yeah.
something that we've found is that
Yeah.
propane definitely seems to pull more terps.
Yeah, it's a lighter hydrocarbon.
Yeah, yeah, and the entane definitely seems to pull, or the butane definitely seems to pull more of undesirables, like the chlorophyll.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Can't soak it too long.
exactly. Yeah, yep. So we're that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on, as well as we're consistently trying to figure out new ways to make our product better for the patients, so that way the patients get as high of a quality product as we can possibly produce. And that's kind of our mentality, is we're not going to settle. We're not settlers. We don't settle we don't settle for greatness. We just strive to just do better and better each day. Try not to get complacent. Have really open ears. We love to hear feedback, positive and negative, because that's what helps us grow and what helps us get better. A little bit about us is this is just 3 of our semi-big team. We're a team of growers and extractors and connoisseurs. I personally have been growing for 5 years. My dad taught me. My dad's a grower. My grandpa was a grower. That's kind of my passion and where I'm best to the whole scheme of things. Extracting, something that I started doing about 3 years ago. I'm not gonna lie and say that I always have used medical grade solvents, but definitely work to get to that point as quick as possible. And Platinum Extracts has always been medical grade solvents across the board. Like James said, we have a minimum purging time of 48 hours. Each slab is different, something that we've come to find out with extensive testing. We wholeheartedly believe in testing, and like James said, the majority of our test results that have came back lately have been under 10 ppm. So, and that's something we really pride ourselves on. I don't know if you guys seen the results for the concentrate cup that they did in Black Diamond. That was the one and only competition that we've entered so far. We took home 2 awards. Best Sativa Shatter, 2nd place, and Best Indica Wax, 3rd place. So that's something that we're going to try and continue to do, is enter competitions, so that way it gives you guys more of a foundation to stand on, because I know that we are kind of a new company, and we haven't been around as long as some of these other companies like Refine, and there's a few others that have been around for a while. But something that we really want to educate patients on too is the importance of choosing concentrates that are made with medical grade solvents, whatever they be. There's a lot of people out there that are still using canned butane, which we try to, at any event that we go to that has other extractors there, and if we know that they're using canned butane, we try to educate them and try to convince them to make the switch, because it's not that much of a difference as far as price goes. I mean, the initial investment's there to invest in all the equipment, but in reality, the quality of the product that you're supplying to the patients is so much better. And that's our #1 goal, is patient health, you know, a clean product for sick people, basically. Yeah, that's pretty much my pitch. Is there any questions?
I got a question. It's
up?
not. It's about the Deadhead OG.
Yeah.
I was just wondering where you guys got it from. Like, where'd the cut?
That we actually, the Deadhead OG is one of our in-house strains that we got. It was a Cali Connection strain. We popped it from seed. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Cali Connection, but it's pretty funny. I seen somebody on Instagram. They said it was like Forrest Gump. life's like a bag of Cali Connection seeds. You never know what you're gonna get.
I was just gonna say you actually got something
Yeah.
like keeping out of the
Yes.
Cali Connection
Yes.
bag.
23.9% is the highest test
Nice.
to date that we've had on Deadhead. So
Surprising.
yes, exactly. We did get another pheno that tested in the 12s. So there's that, and looks completely different. So yeah, but that was one of the only strains that we've gotten from Cali Connection. So.
Sort of the funny guy.
And in-house, we have about anywhere between, it fluctuates between 20 to 40 different strains that we're consistently trying new things, getting rid of old stuff, trying to keep fresh flavors, not only with oil, but we also do select releases of our flower. And then also something that we do that we like to do is come up with specific, like strain specific, like James said, but also strain specific combinations of like really good flavor combinations. Like I don't know if you guys have tried the Grandma's cookies. It's one of our latest ones. We took a GDP and a Girl Scout mix and mixed them together. And one of our
The sativa blend is like one of the greatest things that's ever been created.
Yeah,
I just need to say that.
for sure. Yeah, nice.
Before you pass the mixing thing that you guys
Yeah,
are doing.
yeah, for sure. And that's one of the things that's the feedback that we like to hear, because we keep track of exactly how much of each strain we put in each flavor. So that way when we do hear feedback like that, we can recreate that flavor again for everyone, you know. And I mean, 20 to 40 different strains, you start thinking about, you know, take this strain, you know, one strain, mix it with 39 other strains, next strain, you know, 28 or 38 other strains. So the flavor combinations are basically endless. So
You guys can make like the Dr. Pepper. It could be 23 different strains.
yeah, there you go. I'll write that down.
Put that down right there.
You better
Be careful about that.
Didn't back across everything. But they say it's good. They come back and they say, yeah, it's good. I liked it. Let me sell more.
I've heard some issues about consistencies too, as far as like I know.
I found a hair or two in mine before.
Okay, I haven't heard that yet, but that's good to know.
Just
Was that recent?
probably like 2 batches ago.
2 batches ago.
Was it dark brown hair?
Yeah. Can I get that so I can DNA test that flower?
Yeah.
Looks like you're
Yeah.
Adam's not that bad.
But yeah, one of the things that I've heard specifically from a couple people that we are addressing, just so you guys know, some of the goopier consistencies being hard to get out of the container. We're looking to possibly switch over to a parchment and mylar bags, kind of like how
Dank wax.
yeah, Dank Wax does it. High Class Concentrates, I'm pretty sure does it.
Rain City.
How do you guys feel about that packaging? Does it work good on your shelves? Do you guys enjoy it more as consumers? Or?
I like it when it's a shatter or something like that, not when it's like a wax.
Yeah.
You don't like wax?
I don't like wax in
Not
the
on the
parchment.
paper.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I think
it
like-
just kind of butters up more.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, ideally, because a lot of your stuff is nice dry wax like that,
Yeah.
you can actually display more, and with your labeling system, given that you're coming out with the things that kind of display that whole spectrum, sativa to indica, right? To me, that's a nice visual thing that's kind of missing from the industry, really.
Yeah.
Right, you go into a lot of other businesses and everything's laid out in a very organized way.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough for us to always do that with flowers and other things, but
Yeah.
with concentrates, it'd be great to have it like, oh, here's the whole thing,
Truthfully-
right? It makes it simple. for
Truthfully,
the
you'd be better off just copying Refine and going glass, because
Yeah.
everyone's gonna end up copying them anyways. In
We,
the
I
end.
don't.
We got sent those
Do you
containers.
like the container?
I don't like the new
From the from
I don't really
the
care.
from the container company that we get our containers from right now. We got sent those
Okay,
same exact
small.
glass containers,
Yeah.
and we did tests. It's we just didn't like them
Yeah.
compared to the acrylic. Yeah.
They break too. I've broken like
label,
2
yeah.
at work.
Label's
You know,
gone
Charlie
in 2
broke his.
seconds.
He dropped a lobster butter.
It's harder to pop
And it
off
broke,
the
but he
top.
saved it all.
Is
He
it?
threw it into another empty one that they had.
That's crazy.
Oh my god, I'm
Just for-
appalled.
He almost he saved it, the whole thing, but he was
Yeah.
maybe less than.
You
straight.
saw Jade when I broke that one and then it just like
When you
shattered in her
dissect
hands.
it?
Yeah.
As a consumer, I always tend to go towards something that I can see and smell.
Yeah.
So I shy away from the ones in parchment and bags unless I know who they're from, like Dank Wax or Farmer Joe or something like that.
For sure.
But unless you have that reputation, which you guys are starting to get probably, but if you don't have that reputation, the switch to not being able to see it could be challenging.
Good to know.
Another thing too is like if you didn't just tell me about like the grandma's cookies, like the cross, it's just like we wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
And that'd be a good idea to like put on the label or something like what the cross would be.
Yeah.
Oh,
That-
why don't, instead of putting it on the label, because labels are small, why don't you, okay, do you know the cards that we have at our shops that have the strain names and the garden names and like whether it's a sativa or hybrid? It's like a little index card about yay big.
Yeah.
You guys should make your own index cards for your strains and we could put them out or have like a little flip book of all your different, and so you can have information about each of the strains and
Yeah.
it just makes, it looks so legit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
because
like can't even argue.
everyone's
with it.
asked what that grandma's cookies
Yeah.
was, and I'm just like, I don't know, bro.
Obviously,
It's
it's
good. I say it's good. I mean,
Because
I
we
tried
make
it.
strain
Tell
cards,
me.
but they're not always accurate.
Yeah.
They're not always consistent.
Yeah,
But if you
that's-
guys have something like consistent cards that you can hand out with every batch or every
Yeah.
10-pack you guys give out or whatever you do.
But
Yeah,
just to prevent any like misunderstanding, right? You guys
Yeah.
are taking 2 different strains, trim, and
Yes.
running them together.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's a
an
blend.
actual different
Yeah.
strain.
Correct.
And
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
just so that we don't go overboard and like confuse the issue for
Yeah.
patients.
I think blend is a good word to use. That's what we've used in the
Yeah.
past. I think blend makes it less of a question of what's actually happening.
But
Yes.
like putting what's mixed, like a GDP cross with
Yeah,
Girl Scout cookies, right?
absolutely.
On the card it
So-
says
so-
grandma's cookies, but like a strain description would be
No,
kinda
that's what
silly,
I was.
guess,
That's what I was
it's
saying. Is like something
Yeah.
grandma's cookies. What is
like
it?
how
Is this
ours
and this?
is
Because we have a
exactly.
lot of people that come in, like for example, one patient shines out. She's got some stuff going on, like vasovagal stuff, so with her blood vessels, and apparently for her sativas, like they dilate her blood vessels, so it makes the blood drain quicker out of her head, and it causes her to pass out easier. So she has to stick with heavy indicas, which
Okay.
allow her blood vessels to remain like constricted or whatever.
Yeah.
So knowing whether something's an indica or and given you guys put that on your labeling,
Yeah.
but for her to be able to just like read through the strain book or something like that,
Yeah.
I mean,
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.